And thanks a lot. This morning on Today's Kitchen, making challah for the Jewish New Year. Friday evening, families are going to sit down to celebrate the holiday called Rosh Hashanah. Julie Negrin is the Director of Culinary Arts at the Jewish Community Center in Manhattan. Julie, good to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Okay, now, first of all, for those of us who don't know, what is Rosh Hashanah?
Rosh Hashanah is the Jewish New Year, and it's Rosh means head, so it's the beginning and the head of the New Year, and we traditionally have a large feast of sweet food to bring in the New Year.
Why sweet foods?
You want to start your year off and have a full year of sweetness, prosperity, riches, and so that's why we have all these different
and what do we have here?
We have a brisket with a prune sweet glaze. We have a Moroccan couscous with 7 vegetables and an apple honey bundt cake, and the traditional challah, which we're about to make.
Now, why is honey so important? Why do you use honey for sweetness usually?
I think it goes well with the apples, and it's just a traditional way to celebrate Rosh Hashanah.
All right, now the challah we're going to be making, most of us are used to seeing the braided challah in the stores, but this isn't a braided, this is a crown challah?
Yes, actually we're going to be making a crown challah, which is round in honor of the head, the head of Rosh Hashanah, and it's also continuing the life cycle, continuity, and
the circle of life.
Exactly.
Sort of. Everybody challah! Sorry. Okay, now how do we get started? I've been waiting to do that all day. Challah! Okay.
Well, I'm glad you did. Okay.
Yeah. She's not. You're not going to help me. You're just laying me. I'm laying out there like a lox right here. Thank you. Okay, let's go.
All right, let me tell you what's in challah. It's a sweet egg bread, so it's a little different than traditional breads. We have unbleached flour, a couple eggs, and different challah recipes have different ingredients. You can put raisins in, which is very traditional for the Jewish New Year, but sometimes it's served year-round as well with raisins. And I use vegetable oil, I prefer that, and salt and sugar, of course.
And then what do you use? You have to use yeast, right?
And we have yeast right here. This is what it looks like after you've proofed it, which means you've added a little warm water, a little sugar, and you want it to be frothy and bubbly, and then you're going to mix this together, and this is what it will look like after you've kneaded it out.
Wow, that was easy.
Yeah, fancy that, huh? I wish it was always this easy. But I think it is easier than people think. A lot of people think bread making is harder than it is. So
now do you have to let this rise?
We're going to let this rise for an hour, hour and a half. You definitely want to let it at least rise for an hour.
Right.
And this is what it's going to look like afterwards.
So now, in a lot of bread recipes, you're supposed to like punch it down.
That's what we're going to do today. So you want it to be nice and puffy. It should have doubled in bulk. So this is a beautiful batch right here. It's very sticky. And as you can see, there's little bubbles, and we want to get rid of those. This is actually a double batch, so we're going to split it apart, and we're going to sprinkle a little flour on your board for you, and then I'm going to get yours ready, and then you're going to get ready to punch.
Ooh.
So this is very therapeutic, actually, making bread and challah. You just want to take your fists, and it's exactly as it sounds. People always wonder what punching down means, but it's...
And now a massage from the Swedish Prime Minister.
Yeah, just for a short time. You just do it for a minute or so. Get all the air bubbles out.
Joe Michaels.
And then traditionally we would now split it into 3 different parts and braid it. But today we're just going to turn it into a long rope. And you want to get it at least about 25 inches. People are always surprised how long you'd want to make it.
Wow.
And about 20, yeah, there you go. You're doing good. You might want to put a little more flour on your board since you're getting sticky. You always want to make sure that you don't over-flour your bread dough. That's one very common mistake people make. And you always want to just add it very, very, we're getting in each other's way now. So you're going to pull it out, and then you kind of want to make sure it's seamless, that there's not a little edges. There we go. There we go. Very nice. Good job. And we're going to make the end a little bit wider because that's going to be the center. It's going to be the beginning of the spiral, okay? And you're just going to turn it in a little bit. And as we're going to be making the circle, we're going to twist, okay? And the most important thing while doing this is keeping it tight. You want to make sure you wrap it very tightly, and you just want to tuck it under and pinch. Very beautiful.
Wow.
You did a great job. And then
what's the egg wash for?
That looks beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
And what do you dip it?
You're
with
going to
an
let
egg
this rise for a little bit longer, half an hour, 45 minutes, hour. Second rise is important, and then you're just going to put on a little egg wash.
And that gives it the shine?
This gives it the color.
The color.
The very traditional eggy brown golden color.
Delicious, yeah.
It tastes just like brioche, doesn't it, really? In a lot of
similar,
ways.
very similar.
That sort of mildly sweet
It's
taste.
nicer to you.
Really
It
good. It makes great French toast once it gets a little dried out.
Julie Negrin, thank you so
Yeah.
much.
So welcome.
Happy Rosh Hashanah.
Tomorrow night.
All right.
Speaking of tomorrow, by the way, Gloria Estefan brings her music to the plaza. Check that out.
Also, we'll catch up with Whitney Houston. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.
This